second round draft picks for the Niners. I know we've talked about Kadarius Toney. He's awesome. Are there any other positions that you think now the Niners definitely need to hone in on in the second round?
Corner and safety. Their secondary is 1-year contracts. Jimmy Ward has 2 years left on his contract. Jaquiski Tartt's a 1-year contract. And Jason Verrett's a 1-year contract. And the nice thing is that they can draft a high tools guy because he doesn't have to play right away in 2021 because the Niners have all their starters in their secondary and they're all good starters. But yeah, Andre Cisco would be awesome. But if you can draft the guy and have him learn your system and whatever, and then have him compete and be for the job the very next year, like the Niners just need to accumulate depth there. And that's where I think it would be awesome for them to target both corner and safety in the middle rounds of this draft. Richie Grant's another name. Okay,
well, here's a guy that I know that kind of fits that mold. I think his name's Javon Hollard, Oregon. He played safety predominantly, but he also covered the slot a decent amount. I know the Packers were looking at him pretty heavy. He's going to be our next Demarius Randall, I think, safety to corner conversion. But he would be kind of the mold of like maybe a type of guy that you'd like.
No, yeah, he's a baller. He is a baller. I like him a lot. I agree with you. He would be awesome.
Interesting. Okay, and then I know this has been mentioned a lot, but that third receiver role, do you think they would take that in the second round? Or is that something that they would address maybe free agency or maybe later?
You could, right? You could get like an Elijah Moore to play in the slot, but I still think there's guys on their team that could maybe handle that. I believe in Richie James, I think, more than the average person. I still believe that there's maybe something possible with Jalen Hurd, but that's not reliable. So there are names on the team that Travis Benjamin is another guy who's been pretty okay. I don't think he's ever been a number 3 receiver. He's always like a number 4, but he's an option for sure. But ultimately for me, the reason I'm against it, honestly, to be full disclosure, is I just think that the Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch regime has spent so many assets on wide receivers at this point. Yeah, and it's not just drafting a guy in the second round. Like they traded up 3 picks to go get Brandon Ayuk. They traded up 3 picks to go get Dante Pettis. They traded 2 picks to get Emmanuel Sanders. They've spent a lot of assets. They drafted Debo in the second round. They drafted Jalen Hurd in the third round. That's a lot of picks. Trent Taylor was a 5th round or 6th round pick. They spent a lot on receiver, and with other positions in need, it just hurts for me to watch them go and get another receiver.
To keep going back to the receiver. Okay, right. That's interesting.
That's where I stand, but that's just more of a personal kind of gripe I have as a fan.
You're just sick of seeing the same thing over and over with second, third rounders, and this. Yeah, I mean, they have really spent a lot, and they obviously do have. I think there's enough there with Kittle, Debo, and Ayuk, all healthy, of course. Would getting a 4th really good target be that beneficial when those guys are already really good and they have maybe other guys like Richie James, who, will I say, looked like a Hall of Famer against the Packers in his – I think that was his first game, wasn't it, when the whole team was on COVID? He had like 180 yards.
I think that was his first start, yeah. He had 188 yards, I want to say.
Yeah, it was like 180 or something.
Yeah,